Welcome you all to today's topic of class ninth, packing. Today we will be reading about part 2. I hope, my dear student, you have still kept in your mind part 1 what happened about the three friends related to packing. So today we will be dealing about part 2. Let us see what exactly is there in part 2. So George stepped on the butter, and Jerome remained silent, but sat on the edge of the table to watch the action. His silence irritated his friends. They became nervous and stepped on the things. So as we all know that the eggs were spoiled inside the bag, and now Jerome is looking, watching them, both Harris and George. So they kept the things behind them, and later, when they wanted them, they could not find them. They placed the pies on the bottom and kept heavier things on them, which smashed the pie. So what they did, the heavy things should be kept at the down portion or the bottom portion, and the lighter thing should be kept above that lighter thing, but instead of that they kept upside down, due to which the pies were smashed. The boys overturned the can of salt on everything. Jerome says that they created a lot of confusion with a small piece of butter. He had not seen anyone create so much mess with butter that was worth 1 and 2 pence, as they did. So George removed it from his sleeper and tried to put it into the kettle. As he was unable to do that, he placed it on a chair. Harry sat on it, and the butter stuck on to him, and he stood up, and both the boys went around the room looking the piece of butter. So in this way, again, they spoiled the things. George looked intently at the empty seat on which he had placed the butter a few minutes ago. So in the chair they kept butter where Harris sat on it, and he took an oath of truthfulness that he had placed it there not even a minute ago. Once again, they searched in it the entire room, and they met in the middle of the room empty-handed. George says that the disappearance of the butter was the most amazing thing that he had known. So they are creating a lot of nuisance and confusion among themselves. So Harry said that the disappearance of the butter was a mystery. Now, as we already know that Harris has sat on the butter and the butter is spoiled, but George is saying that this is a great disappearance and they are enjoying that moment. So George saw the butter sticking to Harris' back and said that it had been there all this while. So they were moving around here and there searching butter, but where the butter was? On the back of Harris' pant. So Harris turned around and asked where it was, and George flew to Harris' back and asked him to stand still. So here Harris is saying, where is butter? But George is saying, wait, stand still. So they removed the butter and packed it inside the teapot. Now Jerome's pet dog, Montmorency, so dog name is Montmorency, participated in all this. His aim was to interrupt everyone and then get scolded for it. Jerome adds that if Montmorency was able to twist into a place and create nuisance by angering people and get things thrown at him in return, he felt that he had utilized the day in a good way. Now the dog aim was to get people trip over him and scold him. By doing this, he felt that he had fulfilled his aim and would feel proud of his achievement. Now the dog sat on the things to be packed. So he sat on that packed thing. He thought that when George and Harris reached out for the things to be packed, they were reaching out for his cold, wet nose and would bring it forward for them. He stepped into the jam bottle. He shook the teaspoons. He acted as if the lemons were rats and stepped into the hammer to kill these rats. He was stopped by Harris, who hit him with a frying pan. So Harris blamed Jerome for encouraging dog for doing all this mischief. So how stupid these two friends are. Jerome said that a dog like Montmorency did not encouragement. It was born to be like that and act like that. At 12:50, they had packed the hamper. Harris sat on it and said that hopefully nothing would break in it. George was indifferent and said that if something broke, it would not matter. As they were ready for bed, they went upstairs to sleep. As they settled in their beds, Harris asked Jerome if he preferred the inside or the outside of the bed. So Jerome said that he preferred to sleep on the inside of the bed. This seemed strange to Harris, and George asked them he should wake them up at what time. And Harris replied 7, while Jerome wanted to wake up at 6 as he had to write some letters. So Harry and Jerome had a discussion on the time, and finally they settled on 6:30 and each accommodating his time by half an hour. George did not respond as he was asleep, and Harris and George made mischief by placing the bathtub next to George's bed so that he would fall into out as he woke up, on the pretext that this way he would take a bath as soon as he got up. So see this people's nuisance. So I hope this chapter is clear to you all. It's my humble request to all of you, my dear kids, please read from part 1 to part 2 so that you will remember each and every incident and you will really love the story. How confusion is being created within two trends and how the other one is noticing them. So it is really an enjoyable story. So it's my humble request, please go through it. If you have any doubt, please feel free to call me. So thank you all for watching my audio. For any queries, comments, feedback, do comment on my chat box. Have a nice day.